Good evening, Vincent Winant from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. I'm sitting, working here without a keyboard. Both my laptops crashed. It's old PCs, not PC, laptops. One from 2008, one from 2014, and both were given to me. And now Windows, those drives both crashed. But I'm trying to go back here in Windows 8. It's still working, but of course it's not being supported anymore. So I ask you please to share this video. The previous video was got very little views, and I feel it needs to be shared. You see, the devil control the airways, they control Facebook, they control YouTube, they control the kingdoms of this world, and we have to share to get this out. This COMET C23 TSUCHINSHAN, it sounds very like Arab, or something to that, Atlas. By the way, this means purple mountain. That is also interesting. What is a purple? Purple is very important. It's almost this color purple. It was always color of royalty, important person. It was, this colors was only for certain, meant for certain people in those days. Purple mountain, and the may refers to the Messiah of the Jews. Heralds the Rapture and the Messiah of the Jews. So, is it for Jesus Christ? It's coming on the clouds. Possible. I'm not so sure about that. But it heralds in the rapture and the Messiah of the Jews. And by the way, this star, this comet, is coming on the 27th. It will be visible. They discovered it in South Africa, first in South Africa, and then also by China. And it will be visible from the 27th of September, this coming week. It is on 25th of Elul. I have a rabbi, insert of Rabbi Palvanov. He will explain to you in detail about this comet, and he will also explain a little bit what will happen, when the Messiah arrives in Jerusalem, because that is all the structure. You see, you cannot say who is their Messiah, not at all. They are the ones that choose, they say, their Messiah. They would test to them this Messiah as well. You need to pass certain tests as such. So he will arrive in Jerusalem just after an earthquake, and you will listen to him concerning this comet that will arrive, and it will be on the first day. It will be in over Rome, and 3 buildings will then collapse on that day when it is over Rome, and and then the ruler of Rome, which I presume is the mayor. I did check up that mayor's name, and I just forgot about his name, but I heard quite a few times over the news about the Rome's mayor, and he came in 2021. I did check that up. I had a look at the tall buildings there, and there's another building also will collapse on this particular day. So that is interesting. So we need to look at and see if this is going to happen just before the rapture. And if it does, then it's very important, Yeah, but the rapture will definitely happen this year, 2024. Some say it will happen on Feast of Tabernacles, but it cannot be. That's around the time that if you count from the day when they stopped the sacrifice, that was 2028. And if you count backwards, it's in around Feast of Tabernacles. You see, there will be too much chaos for them to hold any rally or anything like that. So I believe it has to happen at Feast of Trumpets, for that matter. And I'm always a believer that it will happen. That is where the dead in Christ will rise first. And the Bible clearly says, at the last trump, the dead in Christ will rise first. And concerning the last trump, many people think about the last trump, which is a trumpet judgment of a book of Revelation. That is not the case. That, of course, is mid-Revelation. That doesn't happen there. That's not where the rapture happened, people. The rapture happens is pre-wrath, pre-tribulation. Actually, three raptures. One year now, pre, and one mid, and there is one at the end, but only that is only for Revelation 14:7, where Jesus is talking about the grape harvest. Blessed are they that dying henceforth. Those people, because they will also be resurrected. That's what Jesus said. But there will be no live person there that will be resurrected. Only the dead. That is towards when Jesus returns. Okay, so please do listen to him, and he will explain to you what happened with the Messiah. On arrival, there will be an earthquake, and that, I believe, it is a sixth seal. That is also Joel 2, verse 28 to 31, that's taking place there. And also Zephaniah 1:14 and 16. And then also Revelation Isaiah 24. That is going to be happening on that day. Okay, and let me also explain that the asteroid, I'm going to make a video on that tomorrow. I'm just going to finish everything this week. I'm not going to do any videos from the weekend onwards. And just taking that time out to spend as much time with the Lord as such. Not that I'm not doing that, but yeah. So do listen to it. Listen for the complete videos. It's quite interesting and such. And please do comment in your videos as well, your opinion and how you feel about everything else. Thanks so much. We just have 13 days left, people. 13 days left before Jesus comes on the clouds. Bless you.
And this is one of the other places where Bilam says, I'm looking far into the future, and I will tell you what will happen at the end of days. And he says like this, Arenu velo ata, I see it, but it's not now. Ashurenu velo karov, like it's not anytime soon. This is going to be far in the future. What's going to happen? At the beginning in the end of days, before Mashiach comes, there will be drach kochav mi Yaakov, that a star will emerge from Jacob. The star of this, like the famous Star of Jacob prophecy, that a star will appear. Now, is that metaphorical? Does that mean that Mashiach is the star, or does that mean that, like literally, a star will appear? Suddenly, there will be a star in the night sky. So traditionally, it was interpreted as there will be a star in the night sky to herald the coming of the Messiah. And of course, Christians adopted this with the whole nativity scene, the Star of Bethlehem, that whatever. But the idea is that this is a very old, ancient prophecy that even 2,000 years ago, this is something that Jews expected. Elul, right? Elul is the 6th month of the year. Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, is in the 7th month. So on the 25th of Elul, on the Friday, Ve'itkanish beyom hashviya, and then it's going to be, the star will appear on a Friday, the 25th of Elul, and then it says it'll be gathered on the 7th day, on Shabbat. I'm not sure what that means, that it'll be gathered on the 7th day, and then it'll last for 70 days. Lesof ayin yomin. Yoma Kadma, in the first day, Itchaze Bekarta Chada de Roma, it'll become visible in that city of Rome that we talked about before. What is today's Rome? And this is where we quoted this prophecy before. It says, Ve'ahu Yoma in Pelun Gimel Shurin Ilain Me'ai Karta de Romi. 3 big structures will collapse. 3 walls, 3 buildings, 3 big buildings will collapse from that city of Rome that day. Ve'eichala ravrava in pol, and a great palace will fall. Ve'shalita dehahi karta yamut, and the ruler of that city, the ruler of the Rome, will fall. So that ties into the other Talmud prophecy about the fall of the third Rome. Kidein itpashet ha'u kochava, and then that star will spread all over the world. Va'u zimna itarun kravin tkifin be'alma, and at that time there will be great wars happening all over the world. Lechol daled sitrin, all over the world. Okay. And there will be no faith among the people. So that's what it's saying. On a Friday, the 25th of Elul, the star will appear. It's going to last for 70 days. On the day that it appears, 3 big buildings from Rome will fall. A palace will fall. The ruler of that city will die. And then it says that, just reading ahead a little bit, when the star will then disappear, it's going to last for 70 days. After it's gone, Izdaza Ara Kadisha, the Holy Land will shake. Memhe Milin, 45 miles. And apparently there's going to be an earthquake in the Holy Land, and that will reveal an underground cave, and from that cave, a fire from under where the temple was, around the place of the Beit Mikdash, there will be a cave will be revealed, min tachot ara, from under the ground, ume'ai me'arta ipuk eisha takifa, and a great fire will emerge from that cave, le'okda alma, to consume the world. That's what it says. Ume'ai me'arta yazge chad ofa, or chad, according to another version, anafa. So from that underground cave will emerge a great bird or a great branch. Ravrava ilah, this great supernal branch or bird. Deishlot bechol alma, who will rule all over the world. And that's Mashiach. Uchdei nidgale malka Mashiach bechol alma. And that's when Mashiach will come. So that's the timeline that we are given. So on the 25th of Elul, on a Friday, the star will shine. It'll last 70 days. At the end of that, there's going to be some earthquake in Israel, somewhere near the Holy Temple. Mashiach will come at some point after that. And it describes the world that will be, what the world will be like at that time. This is the end of it. Uvnei alma b'shata deitgale. At that time, what will the world be like? We're going to see that Yehon mishtakhin be'akta betar akta, that the people of the world will have suffering after suffering, distress after distress, one thing after another, one pandemic after a war, after another crisis, after another hyperinflation and economy and this and that. And
sounds very exciting.
Yeah, one distress after another distress. And this is interesting. Vesanehun de Israel idgabrun, and the haters of Israel will be really strong. There will be many of them. There will be many haters of Israel. That the spirit of Mashiach will then come to subdue them. And he'll destroy the wicked part of Edom. And the land of Seir will be destroyed. And this is the fulfillment of the verse, that Israel will finally be victorious. Okay. A new comet, far, far away, but heading closer to us. And I thought that's really interesting. And they said that it's probably going to reach near us in September of 2024. So at that time, I put it in my list of topics to write about, to talk about, something to watch. And then I kind of forgot about it. Now, with all that's been happening, a few weeks ago, as I started to prepare this shiur, I was thinking to myself, Drach Kochav Miyakov, what happened to that comet? So I went back to that. The comet is called officially C2023/A3 Tsuchinshan-Atlas. It's named after the 2 observatories that discovered it, one in Atlas in South Africa and Tsuchinshan in China. And so I looked at it, and now they've estimated when is it going to be closest and visible to us here on Earth. And they're saying that on around September 27th of 2024 at night, it should become visible to the naked eye. It's going to be closest to the sun around that time. and it should become visible to the naked eye, which means on the night of September 27th, 2024, if you look up in the sky, if you have a clear sky, it could be, let's see. So let's see. So if on the 27th of September at night, if you look up in the sky, you might see a comet visible to the naked eye. You'll definitely see it with binoculars, but it might actually, we can't say for sure, but based on the estimates, the trajectory, it should be visible to the naked eye on September 27. And as soon as I saw that, I said, it has to be. It has to be. In light of what we said in the Zohar. So I pulled out my Jewish calendar. And what day is September 27? It's a Shtita, it's a Friday. And that night, Kaf Hei Elul, the 25th of Elul. So Friday night on September 27th will be the start of the 25th of Elul. That's meaning, as Shabbat's coming in, the 25th of Elul is coming in on that day. And so what scientists are telling us now, again, this is only a prediction. It's just interesting that they're saying that on that day, the night of September 27th to the 28th, that comet should become visible in the night sky to the naked eye. And they're estimating that it's going to be visible for at least 2 weeks to the naked eye, and then for several weeks more by binoculars. So when the Zohar is talking about a star that's going to appear and last for 70 days, it's not talking about like an actual sun star, like a gas giant, because that wouldn't disappear after 70 days. It's probably talking about some kind of comet, right? Something that appears in the sky for a short amount of time and then dissipates. So the Zohar is saying that there will be a new star on a Friday night on the 25th of Elul, and it's going to last for 70 days. So this seems to could be it, right? This really could be it. And so let's see. Let's look out for it. Well, now what I did was I wanted to see what is the deeper significance of that day. I looked at the Parsha that week. The Parsha that week is Nitzavim Vayelech, which we always read right before Rosh Hashanah, because it's going to be Rosh Hashanah the week after. And remember what we said about the first prophecy. At the end of at the start of the 8th year, Ben Motzei Shvi, that Ben David comes, that the time of Mashiach has come at the end of the 7th year, as the 7th year ends at the start of the 8th year. So this is right at the end. It's the 25th of Elul. This is just a few days before Rosh Hashanah, as this 7th year, hopefully if this is the 7th year, ends. And so the Parsha is Nitzavim Vayelech, which is we read always right before Rosh Hashanah. And it's interesting because right there, in that Parsha, it says, V'chara api bayom ha'u. God is saying, my wrath will be ignited on that day. But that's actually from the Aliyah of that day, of the Friday and Saturday. You know how each day of the week corresponds to one of the 7 Aliyot? Because every Parsha is split into 7 Aliyot. So if you look at the Aliyah for Friday, Saturday, like the Zohar says, the star will appear on a Friday, ve'it kanish, and will be gathered in on a Saturday. So it's almost like the transition from Friday to Saturday, Friday evening to Shabbat. Because that's what it's going to be. The 25th of Elul is going to be Shabbat. So it starts on a secular Friday as we transition into Shabbat.